If you are a woman living in America right now, the next time your doctor asks you when your last period was, you need to refuse to answer. Unless you are at the doctor for a concern directly related to your menstrual cycle or menstrual health, do not answer that question. In the current state of things, in our current political climate, it is not safe for you to answer that question. Our reproductive rights are under constant threat, and we need to be ready at any moment for the other shoe to drop or a switch to flip. Should the worst case scenario happen with certain medical decisions that we can make, medical records can be subpoenaed by law enforcement. And if, God forbid, the worst case scenario ever happened to you, the answer to that question, the answer to when was your last period, can be used against you in a court of law. And I know a lot of people probably don't consider this and probably don't want to hear it, but you cannot trust your doctor either. Because again, if the worst case scenario were to happen, your doctor could just as easily report you. Your doctor is not your friend, they're not your ally, they're just a person doing a job. And just like with any person doing a job, some of them are awesome, some of them suck. Just like any person doing any job, there are rules and laws that apply to them. Those rules and laws could very easily tell them they have to report you if they suspect that you've made certain medical decisions. And most of the time, unless of course you're there for a menstrual health issue, the answer to when your last period was bears very little relevance to your treatment plan and your outcomes. I was hounded about it when I went to an urgent care to be tested for the flu last year. And when I refused to answer and questioned why that was relevant to whether or not I had the flu, the doctor couldn't answer me because it wasn't relevant. Ever since Roe v. Wade overturned, I answer this question with, everything is normal, I have no concerns. If the doctor presses for more information or tries to insist that I answer, I simply tell them I am not comfortable answering that question, thank you. Usually the conversation ends there, and the provider understands why I might not be comfortable answering that question. But in the rare case where they do not, and they continue to press me or hound me to answer the question, I am more than happy to tell them I don't see how that is relevant to my visit today, and if this is going to continue to be such a point of contingency for you, I am happy to leave and find another provider. So far, I've never been told to leave, and it has shut them up. I know that a lot of people who are also concerned about this being a potential issue will tell you to simply lie about the date. Which, I mean, you can do if you want. I mean, even before this was a concern for me, I lied about it all the time because I simply didn't remember or didn't know it. And it never really had an impact, which again goes to show that it bears very little relevance in the first place. But I would not recommend doing that because it could still bite you in the rear end later on. In a worst case scenario, that information could still be treated as fact even if it was a lie. So it's generally better and safer for you to just decline to answer entirely and have them leave the field blank in your medical records. If you are serious about this and really concerned about it, as you probably should be though, you may need to check your medical records and make sure that they're not just making up a date and inputting it for you. Because I have seen several people mention that that had happened or that it may be a concern on our We Deserve Better subreddit. At the end of the day, we live in very scary times right now, and we don't know what the future of our reproductive health is going to look like. And there's already an abundance of concerns right now affecting many, many women and AFAB people from across the United States. So it's better to just be safe than be sorry, and don't answer questions like this.